You've heard it said that the Serenade from Thesis YoYos was a good yo-yo, but I tell you, the Decapo is an even better yo-yo. Decapo. Hey Siri.
Decapo.
It's Decapo. All right, Decapo. So Decapo, right? Not like capo as in like guitar, capo, right? So anyways, this is Thesis YoYos. I've been enjoying a lot of what Thesis YoYos has put out in the last year. They've been killing it with all their releases. And this one's no exception. This is the Decapo. And this is in the antithesis. All right, so that's you know, if you don't know what antithesis is, it's basically like kind of think of like an antonym, right? It's an opposite statement. So you know, when I said, anyways, you'll figure it out. If you're familiar with the Serenade, which is basically what this was, but with flat caps on it. Some of them have domed caps, like so, like on this one, and some of them have concave caps. And there's different colors, there's all kinds of things, including ones that are probably still coming out. So we're gonna talk about this one. Again, I have the one that has the domed caps. I mentioned the Serenade, so I have a review on that one from way back when it came out. And that yo-yo was great. Pretty much as good as Delrin can get, as smooth as Delrin can get. It was just a really nice competitive shape for a Delrin yo-yo, really nice, and it was also finger spin ready, right? So it had a nice little dimple in there so you can finger spin. It was great for that. I personally actually really like the caps. I think there's a lot of potential to do really cool things with them, especially art, and you're already gonna see some of that, especially even with, and even with this one here. So on this side you have the engraving antithesis, okay? It almost looks like an unknown edition, but it's not. It's not. I don't think they were trying to rip that off either. You just have to know that the word anti doesn't mean un. It's meaning antithesis, okay? And then on the other side is some Japanese script. I think that's the right terminology. I don't speak Japanese, so sorry for those who may be watching this and do speak it fluently. I asked what that meant, obviously, because I wanted to know what it meant. You know, it's like getting a tattoo in another language that you're like, it actually says something you didn't realize it is actually more offensive or something. But anyways, so this one it means something like functional aesthetic. The caps too here, since we're talking about that, they don't come off. You could force them off. I would not recommend so. So if you're looking at this yo-yo and you're thinking, oh, that's cool, let's kind of collect all the caps. It's not going to be something like the freehand caps or Duncan caps or anything like that. They're not universal and they are pressed in. Which is good because that actually allows it to maintain, you know, no vibe, right? So with them pressed in, it's acting as if it's not like two different materials, because that would be a problem, especially with vibe. And, you know, and the tolerance, I feel like a lot of times with Delrin yo-yos, you always get a little bit of a pulse vibe typically with Delrin compared to metal. Though, I'll tell you what, before we play it, this yo-yo is really darn smooth. And I would assume that the majority of them are, because they press that cap in. The same shape. I don't think anything's been changed from the original Serenade as far as the gap and the shape and all that. I'm sure some things were adapted obviously to fit in these caps, but other than that, the shape's the same. So you have really nice, like beefy, chunky rims there, which is great for a more competitive sort of play. And you have a really nice H shape there, very aggressive kind of H shape, and a couple little steps here. So it's really nice, clean H-shaped design, very competitive, nice open gap. So it's going to be great for pretty much anything you can throw at it as far as competition tricks are concerned. Oh, by the way, I have this new lens here. Do you guys like the clarity on that? I know my videos are always crispy, clean as it is, but man, whew, it's got a G Master lens here. Anyways. We're at 1.4 here, and man, that background is not even that far from it, and it's blown out. Anyways, now with those caps there, they are aluminum, so it adds a little bit more weight to the outside, right? It's not really to the rims, but it is to the outside, and so those are going to aid a little bit in, you know, stability and spin times as well. So again, it's not just for looks, which I think, again, it's really cool that they're able to kind of take that and put some art on it, and you're seeing more of that. They have a couple different engravings on a few of theirs, like they have like a rose color that has like an actual rose engraved on it and things like that. So really, really cool what they're able to do with that. I talked about that too, that this is the domed over one. They do have a concaved one. I don't have that in hand, so I can't really compare. It doesn't look like you really could finger spin with that. It doesn't have like anything more pressed into the center. It'd probably be easier. I'm not even gonna attempt to finger spin with this one. I just don't think it's doable. I mean, maybe it is, but it's not intended for that, right? So, but I'm not sure if so much the concave ones are really intended to be finger spin ready either. If you're wanting that, try to track down a Serenade, which I'm pretty sure they're sold out everywhere. But yeah, again, I like that nice smooth Delrin, so it's gonna be actually good for grinds too, and that shape is gonna be good for that. So if you're into finger grinds and things like that, you're gonna like that too. But overall, like I said, a very competitive shape for Delrin, and I really do like the addition of those caps quite a bit. All right, let's go and actually play it and see how it plays on the string. All right, welcome back to the on the string section with the Decapo, which obviously means cap. I believe it's the cap, as in this has caps on it. All right. All right, first off, let's talk about the smoothness of this yo-yo. All right, I've really never played a Delrin that is 100% as smooth as a machined high-end metal yo-yo. But this is a high-end Delrin yo-yo, and I tell you what, it's probably a 9 out of 10 with smoothness. It's as smooth really as you can get Delrin. On as you know, a fingernail sort of check, a little bit tiny. I can feel just a little bit if I'm looking for it. Shape, like I said, is very competition worthy. It also has some really good spin times, especially for Delrin, and I do think those caps aid in that. And so you have quite a bit of stability, and you have some really decent spin times. So you're able to pull off longer combos and have no problem hitting that gap whatsoever. Okay. That yo-yo that you're wanting to reach for that feels really nice and kind of warm in the hand. And when I say that, what I mean is it's gonna get cold here really soon. It's already October, and in Ohio, winter's tomorrow, okay? So for those who like to throw outside like myself, Delrin's really great because it's just nicer on the hands than a metal yo-yo that freezes up like a block of ice as soon as you start throwing it. So Delrin's really nice to have, but you also want maybe a Delrin yo-yo that you can kind of throw any trick at, and that's this one. All right, so yeah, that gap is going to be really nice for competition stuff. You know, it's really going to hold anything horizontal, all that gap's really nice for that. Very little string drag there, a nice kind of concave sort of H shape there. So just overall, really nice. I do like the feel on the string as well. It's got a nice weight to it. It's got, I think, a little bit more power, I would say, than the Serenade. All right, just for the sake of it, let's see if we can do a finger spin with this domed cap. Interesting. Okay, so you could pull off a little one, right? Maybe for a second. All right, if I could hit it perfectly. Okay, so what it's doing there, obviously it's not centering, but there's enough of a groove here that my finger can go around. So it's not actually impossible to do a finger spin. It's certainly not centering, so you're not gonna pull off longer finger spins. But I would assume then, based on just that test there, that the concaved one is gonna certainly improve on finger spins. Okay. Anyways, there you go. Yeah. Rejections are great. Obviously that gap is very open, so it's gonna just reject fantastic. Not the best shape for regens exactly. It's not the yo-yo, it's just the shape, I think. Plus, you don't really have a wall there. I feel like usually a higher wall yo-yo is gonna be a little bit more control for regens and so on, but it's not impossible. You know, looking at what they did with the Serenade and now with the Decapo, you might think, oh, I have the Serenade, why would I want this one if it's just a different look? I think it's really more of a different yo-yo, to be honest. Yes, it's the same shape, but it's not just a Serenade with caps. Because of those caps, obviously it looks a little different. You know, you can do different things with it and kind of have more of a unique look, but it feels very, very different in the hand. And I think you would benefit from having both of them if you liked the Serenade. So if you're wanting those just great finger spin tricks and all that, and maybe a little bit more nimble, lighter yo-yo, that's gonna be maybe the one to pick up if you can get one, or just keep it if you still have it. But the Decapo, it's a win. I really like this one a lot, the antithesis one, and I like the creativity with the caps and what they're able to do with that. So definitely check them out. There are a bunch of places they're still available, YoYo Expert, YoYo Sam, and their own website, I believe, as well, unless they're sold out. But it's been really well received, so definitely check that out. If you've not checked out Thesis YoYos, it's a great Delrin yo-yo. It's as good as they get as far as Delrin. Smooth, really great performance, and a nice competitive shape. And that's gonna do it for now, my review of the Decapo from Thesis YoYos. Until the next one, later.